All right, well, let's get to some picks here. The Saints are favored by 3.5. I'll kick things off, and I'm going with the Buccaneers. I do think we'll see vintage Gronk. I do think Brady's going to be motivated to put a show on in his new environment, and they walk away with the win on the road. Cynthia, tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, you're wrong because the model says you're wrong because this is one of the most balanced. The Saints have one of the most balanced defense in all of football. We don't even know if Mike Evans is going to play. For fantasy purposes, he's right now currently listed as doubtful. So you're going to need to keep an eye on it and actually tune back into us on Sunday to make sure that you absolutely know if he's playing or not. For me, I have the Saints winning this one 28-23.
Ooh, I like it. I like it when I'm on Cynthia's side. I'm with the model here. I think they win by 4. I think when you're looking at mismatches, when Tom Brady drops back to pass, he doesn't have as many good matchups as you think. This Saints secondary, since adding Janoris Jenkins, Malcolm Jenkins is now at safety. They're very deep. They can give you a lot of problems, and I think Tom Brady is going to have a hard time finding open receivers.
Get the picks here. The Vikings are actually favored by 2.5, and I'm going against that. I'm going with the Packers because I do think Devontae Adams is enough. Cynthia, what do you got?
I totally agree with you. I have a 1-point win for the Packers on the road. Really big divisional matchup. Of course, we have the expanded playoffs. So I think this is one of those games that will help determine which one is the division winner and which one goes to the playoffs. I think this is a big deal for the Packers.
I saw Hawk hit the Vikings with the actually a favorite. I mean, what disrespect for Kid Cuzzy. I think the Vikings are the most balanced team in this division. I think they wipe away 2019. I think they get a nice home victory by a field goal this week.
Don't they need a pass rusher? Come on, Daniil Hunter. Where is he? He's not there.
The Ravens are favored by 7.5. I'll start things off. I'm actually going against my spirit of the Browns. You see the Browns helmet in the back. I'm going to pick the Ravens. The reason being because the person we didn't mention was Lamar Jackson, the X Factor, reigning MVP. How do we start this show and not mention the reigning MVP? I'm going with the Ravens. Cynthia, your shot.
Well, you know why we didn't mention him? Because it's the Browns' defense that is not the good part of their team or the bit unknown, other than the pass rush. Myles Garrett is back. We do like that. But I don't know about that secondary, which is why I have Ravens winning 29-20. It's going to be fun to see Baker Mayfield take that step forward, but ultimately Lamar Jackson and the Ravens will play better.
Secondary that you mentioned is pretty banged up, and they couldn't tackle. Like, no one mentioned the new system on the defensive side of the ball for Cleveland, one of the worst tackling teams. I got the Ravens winning this game because they're just running through a bunch of tackles, but the Browns get the moral victory. How about that at least, Hawk? I mean, they won in Baltimore last year. At least this year they keep it to a field goal game. Ravens win.
As a Cleveland Brown, when it comes to moral victories, I am Tom Brady, okay? We're very used to moral victories. The Seahawks are favored by 2.5, and I am going with the Seahawks. I honestly think that Russell Wilson will end the year as the league MVP because I do not think he likes all the chatter about quarterbacks with his name not included the way it should be. How can you be underrated with a guy with a resume like this guy? I'm going Seahawks to start the season.
Okay, well, I'm going to agree with you on the Seahawks to start the season, but I have 27-24, a closer game than I thought when I was thinking about this beforehand. And ultimately, the thing we didn't mention was the fact that the Seahawks defensive front and their ability to generate pressure, we don't know what to expect from them either. So this is a game that could be a potentially very high scoring, like incredibly high scoring compared to what I have written there.
I got the upset. I got the Dirty Birds beating the Seahawks. You know, Matty Ice is a quiet Seahawks killer. Seahawks fans know what I'm talking about. Couple playoff games. You know, Russell Wilson went over to Atlanta. Matt Ryan took care of business. And you said it, Cynthia. If the game's won in the trenches, I don't like the trenches for Seattle on either side of the ball.
The 49ers are favored by 7. I am going with the 49ers for the reasons I said. I know Kyle Shanahan. I'm going to name drop their drink. I'm going to say that I know the way he game plans. They've had a long time to game plan for how they're going to attack this offense. And I think the 49ers defense comes up big in the opening game.
So I'm agreeing with you on who wins. So I have the 49ers winning, and I think it's going to be a bit closer than you might imagine. I have 24-21. I still have a lot of questions about Arizona's defense, and I think some of them will start to come into focus. But the reason I like the Niners is they show the same pre-snap alignment a lot, and they're really good at running the ball. And those are things that are going to confuse defenses, and we haven't had this preseason. I keep saying it, I'm a broken record, so tackling's harder. We saw it on Thursday night with the Thursday night game. So that pre-snap being so confusing, that gives the edge to the Niners.
Biggest upset of the show so far is it took this long for Hawk to remind us that he played football, he played under Kyle Shanahan, and that we didn't. We're just a couple of nerds. But I'm agreeing with the other nerd. A field goal victory for the 49ers. I think it could be a lot of ground game here. You know, we're not going to see Deebo Samuel. Brandon Ayuk's up in the air. And so I think the Cardinals do keep it close.
The Cowboys are favored by 3. I am going with the Cowboys. Dak is still on a quest to get his money. So I think we'll see a great game out of him, and he'll hopefully be able to utilize those weapons, specifically Zeke Elliott establishing that run. Cynthia, what do you got?
I think because of the security at the run game, I have a closer than expected Cowboys win, 26-24. I think run game means a lot in this first week, even probably the first month of the season. So that's why the Cowboys have the edge in this one.
Man, I go back to that promo we saw. You never know what people are going to look like coming out of the pandemic. I had no idea what his hair was going to look like that. You don't know what this Cowboys defense is going to look like. I think the Rams are going to roll in this game. They get the home upset victory. I think Sean McVay is a little tired of everyone else talking about different offensive play callers, and I think he's got plenty of talent.
Leave it to Greg for the reason he picks the Rams, because Irv didn't get a haircut. All right, let's just pick the Eagles and Washington football team. I am going with the Eagles, who are favored by 5.5 here. I mean, I do want to see what Chase Young has to offer, but I just don't think that they'll be clicking well enough to contend with the Eagles. I got the Eagles winning big. Cynthia, what do you got?
Eagles winning big as well, 26-17. We just saw an injury report. There's a lot of question marks on that Washington football defense. So play Carson Wentz, play all of your Eagles offensive players, and maybe even play the Eagles defense if you're looking for one in fantasy.
Yeah, I got the Eagles by 10 points in this game. If there was a team out there that could use a preseason, to me it was the Washington football team. I mean, they got Steven Sims is their number 2 receiver. They got brand new left tackle. It's just a lot of question marks. They could have used that buildup. I'm not going to judge them too harshly yet, but they're going to get the L this weekend.
All right, we're going with the Pats and the Dolphins. Pats are favored by 6.5, and I'm going with the Patriots because I don't think the Dolphins have figured it out. So many question marks, so many, holes on the offense, holes on the defense. I think the Patriots run away with this one in week 1, and Cam looks back to normal.
Okay, so I'm going Pats by 8, 26-18. I think the interesting part here is how many touchdowns that Cam Newton will rush for. I think it's going to be 1, which is a good number right there. So keep that in mind, Cam Newton rushing touchdown.
I got the Patriots by 6. Key difference there with Cynthia. I think the Patriots have the better offensive line. I think they have the better running game, and they got the better running quarterback. Cam Newton now, even better than the Dolphins' leading rusher from a year ago, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Okay, fine. Let's stay in the AFC East. Let's go with the Bills and the Jets. And the Bills are favored at home, 6.5 points. What say you, Hawk?
I'm going with the Bills, man. I think Josh Allen is going to show a lot of people he's got the talent. He's the dual threat quarterback that nobody talks about as dual threat, or at least as much as they should. So I think he's going to come out and have a big opening game to try to take a hold of this division now that Tom Brady is gone. This is now Josh Allen's division.
Ooh.
I like it. I kind of agree. Bills 23-16. If you're looking for a tight end in fantasy and you're really looking for something a little bit deeper, may I suggest Chris Herndon for the Jets. They have a lot of questions at the wide receiving position. They're going to be throwing from behind late. I think Herndon will get you some nice fantasy points at the tight end spot.
If you watch Sam Darnold last year against the Bills, struggled in week 1, struggled against the Bills backups in week 17. I think the Bills defense clamps him down. It's a comfortable victory for Buffalo in Orchard Park. Another division matchup, Bears and Lions. Lions are favored by 3 in this one. Cynthia's team, but let's start with Hawk.
All right, I'm going with the Lions. I don't know if that's not because I believe so much in the Lions. Sorry, Cynthia. It's more because I don't know what to expect of the Bears. Matt Tanton, our producer, is crying right now into his palm of his hand. Bears, I have so many question marks. I'm not a believer, so I'm going with the Lions right now. To the Bears and Mr. Trubisky, show me something early on. What you got, Cynthia?
Well, I don't know if I believe in the Lions, but I do have a Lions win 21-20. It's a 1-point win at home. That's a close win. This is a great watercolor of Matt Patricia. This is about the best thing about being Lions fan, and Barry Sanders. So that's what I got for you, Lions fans.
Typical Lions fan. Can't even get too excited when they're the hype team this year. I got them winning by more than a point. I got them winning by 4 points. This is the least exciting offense to me in the league, the Bears, versus a very sneaky, exciting offense in the Lions. I think that Detroit gets the Freelands excited on Sunday.
I like it. All right, we're going Chargers and Bengals. Chargers favored by 3. I'll kick things off. I'm going with the Chargers. A lot of question marks at the quarterback position for the Bengals, but I do think Joe Burrow is going to have a balling year, and I think he's going to shock a lot of people. But I'm going with the Chargers. Tyrod Taylor, let's get it.
Okay, so I'm with you on the Chargers. I have a 5-point win, 24-19. I told you I like run games, and I like certainty in the run game. And I know Joe Mixon is good, but their O-line is not so good. So I'm going to go with Chargers defense over Bengals offense. That's why they win.
Man, you guys are no fun. I got the Bengals win. I mean, if there's only one way for the legend of Joe Burrow to get started, it's with a home upset victory. He's got the weapons around him now to get the victory against the Chargers.
Okay, so I like that one, but I really want to know what everyone thinks about the Raiders and Panthers. The Raiders are favored by 3 at the Panthers. What do you got, Hawk?
I'm going with the Panthers, man. I know they've kind of done a recharge, but I think they'll beat the Raiders. Raiders, I don't know. I'm not high on them. I'm going with the Panthers early on.
I think this could be a sneaky fun game. I think an interesting one to watch because both defenses are a lot of question marks to me. Big time question marks. So I have a 24-23. Raiders sneak the win because we know Gruden likes to pass the ball. So it's no risk it, no biscuit. The risk it pays off in this one.
I think the Raiders and Mike Mayock's boys, 9 first or second year starters, win comfortably in Carolina. And I think it might be a little bit of a mismatch in Jacksonville this week, too. You got the Colts heading to face their division rival, the Jaguars. It's in Colts by 8 points in this game. Hawk, what do you got?
I mean, I might have tipped it a little earlier. I'm going with the Colts. The Jaguars, I'm going with the Colts. Colts got Phillip Rivers. They're going to look good in that new blue that he's rocking in Indianapolis. What do you guys think here?
I have only a 1 touchdown differential. I have Colts 26-19. I think that you're right with the Gardner Minshew. There's something about that Jags offense that is going to trick us all, and I think we see some tricks this weekend.
I think it's going to be one of those crazy week 1 games. It's on Phillip Rivers to get a game-winning touchdown at the end, and this time he does it. He doesn't throw an interception, so the Colts win a close one in week 1.
All right, next we got the Steelers and the Giants. Steelers favored by 6, and I am going with Pittsburgh. Big Ben is back, and he's going to have this Steelers offense rolling again. Cynthia, what do you got?
I'm with you on that one. I think Steelers 26-19 for the Giants. I think the Steelers are going to start a steamroll. That's something for later to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I'm with you. Mismatches all over the field. I think the Steelers win this one comfortably, and I'm hoping the Monday night doubleheader recap is a little better. It's Titans-Broncos. Titans by 2.5 in this one.
I'm going Titans, man. Heavy dose of Derrick Henry. He's also my starting running back on my fantasy team. Let's go with Tennessee.
Okay, I've got Titans 24-21. I think it's going to be I told you I liked Ryan Tannehill to throw some touchdowns, so I think 1 to A.J. Brown this weekend.
I'm bummed out. Von Miller is going to miss this season, and it just makes this defense, which already struggled to stop the run, have a tough mismatch against the Titans. And so I got the Titans winning in this one in the altitude on Monday night. Late night